We're so glad y'all are joining us. I'm Rebecca Bush.
And I'm Ryan Minniti, the Vice President of Sales here at Live Free Academy.
We're so excited to answer any questions you may have about the Exit and Build Land Summit 3. This is going down May 18th through May 22nd in like 2 weeks? So, wow, there's been a lot of hard work that has gone into all of this. It's crazy to think it's coming up so fast. So Ryan's been working really hard to help spread the word. You might have talked to him on the phone. He's been calling Live Free Academy members, folks who have attended last year. And so I thought it would be good to kind of let him start off and share about the different vendors and things you can expect as an attendee. So who do we have coming that you're really excited about?
Yeah, if we just want to click on the sponsors section there.
Yes. Pulling it up. Okay, so we've got a lot of great support. So first and foremost,
we have our biggest sponsor of the event, ECI Development. They're a great company, whether you're looking for an escape in South America. Mike Cobb makes a great recommendation about, if you're really looking for preparedness and you want to be a prepper and all these kinds of things, having another location, having a passport, having a residence outside of the country, if you need to flee for whatever reason, it's always a great option. Also, they have teak offerings. You could buy a teak parcel with them. It is an investment, but a dang good return on your investment, if you ask me. It's a great hedge against inflation as well. So ECI Development, they've got a lot of cool offerings, a lot of cool things that they're doing. We're definitely really happy to have them as sponsors.
We actually just bought a teak share, John and I did, and we'll be sharing more about how that all works at the Land Summit. So that'll be really exciting.
Very cool. And then we have Richard Grove's Autonomy, and they do a course. I think it's an annual course, and they teach you a bunch of different skills, business skills, entrepreneurial skills. Definitely a great asset. Definitely check them out. We have Farm to Freedom, who's actually launching their t-shirt business with us. So we're really happy with that. That's going to be great. Ali Zek, she's a wonderful woman, and we're really happy to have her launch her business with us. It's going to be a great t-shirt company, so we're really happy that she's going to be there with us.
We've been rocking their t-shirts out to tease it. There's one that says Farm Over Pharma and Farm to Freedom.
Yeah.
They're clever.
Very like-minded company. We're super grateful that they chose to have their coming out party with us. And then we have our Riverbed Ranch community. It's actually OSR Green LLC, but their community in Utah is about 1,300 acres. And what they're doing is that you can buy a parcel for, a 2-3 acre parcel for $30,000. And then they do have some requirements like having a greenhouse and a well and some solar and stuff like that, because they want you to be totally independent from the grid, from all these other things that would otherwise hold you down in any kind of, SHTF kind of scenario. So Riverbed Ranch, really cool community. We definitely recommend checking their offerings, whether you're in Utah or whether you're looking exactly for something like they're offering. I think that they have a lot of great stuff going on over there. Texas Ready?
Yep, they'll be presenting at the event as well. And someone asked, what time does the event end on Sunday? So stick with us. We're actually going to roll through the schedule after this. So it should be wrapping up around 6 p.m. on Sunday, May 21st. So just to answer that question real quick. But yes, okay, so up next as a sponsor is Texas Ready. They have heirloom seeds, so we're really excited to have them out. Kurt and Lucinda will also be presenting, so they're going to be sharing about gardening, food preservation, and basically what it takes to grow your own food and do so with the most efficient method known, which they're very passionate about, Mittlight or gardening. All right, so yeah, we're stoked for that, and they're going to be doing 2 workshops also.
And then we have Quantum Living Essentials, and we're really excited about them. They offer a 21-day challenge where you can do different sound healing. I actually participated in this challenge, and I did reap a lot of benefits, actually. There were some days where I really wasn't that motivated or I wasn't feeling up to par coming into work. I sent a little 12-second voice memo over to Amy. Amy and Christy, they're great. They're both with Quantum Living Essentials. But I sent a little 12-second thing over to Amy, and then she shot me back some tones to listen to based off of her analysis of my voice cues and all these kinds of things. And it really did improve my mood in certain instances on different days. I really got a lot out of the program. They're definitely going to be great. They're going to tell you way more about what they do. That's only a small piece. They do body scans and all of these kinds of things.
It's like bioresonance.
Right. And they'll be doing also a workshop on Sunday. So definitely check that out and go to their booth. They'll have a lot of great offerings over there. And then we're always happy to have Weston A. Price. They came for TGR as well. Just a great company. I mean, they share a lot of beliefs that I do with raw milk. They have a huge raw milk campaign, getting that more integrated into our society. I think the work that they're doing is really important. Also eating nose to tail. Can't say enough good things about Weston A. Price. I'm above and beyond happy that they're going to be there at the Exit and Build Land Summit.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be really fun. And in addition to all the exhibitors and booths that we'll have in the front area, we're also going to have our very own Spike Up Bar. So we'll be serving delicious beverages and snacks and things like that so that you're very comfortable throughout the event. We're also going to have a few booths featuring some of the products that we're passionate about. So for instance, we'll have Kratom, CBD, and we're actually also going to have our newest item that we've been promoting. And this will be really the first time that we've ever shared it publicly, but we just purchased 2 tower gardens. They're so cool. I wish I had a photo of what one looked like right now. I'll try to pull one up, but just stop by, check it out. And if you don't have a backyard right now, if you're not living in the country yet, this is something that you can actually purchase that would allow you to grow food in your house, condo, apartment, whatever today. And embarrassingly, it's actually been more productive. We literally just started it a week or 2 ago than the wicking beds, which we spent months building out at our homestead. And, with the weird weather we've had this season, they just haven't been very productive. Like the snap peas are growing, but not much else is doing well. But anyway, I digress. The tower gardens have been really exploding with life. And, you can do the butter lettuce and herbs. So it's really cool. We're also going to have Agora Row, which is outside. So that'll be cool. There's going to be, artisan vendors, and even some of the speakers will debut their, books and things that you can kind of visit and learn more about their offerings and what they've been up to and projects they're working on.
Yeah, and just to reiterate a point that Rebecca just made, the Tower Garden is really a set it and forget it kind of thing. I mean, it just produces on its own. The constant water running is a little annoying, but other than that, I mean, then it just produces food for you, so you can, deal with the water thing. It really is a set it and forget it, and it's a super, super easy system. Once you get it all pieced together, it's just going to create food for you in your apartment. It has a whole light system on it. They'll give the plants constant light, and it's just a really cool deal. I think Rebecca's sharing it.
Yeah, here. This is kind of what it looks like. I mean, I can envision like us getting a greenhouse and just having, 30 of these someday. So we're super stoked. That's a different brand, but we'll be kind of showing that off at the event. Something that a lot of folks have been asking about is like, how do I participate? I do see someone asking, do you think I could make a 6:30 Austin flight? Well, you could leave early and like just watch it virtually while you're in the car driving to the airport or in your Lyft or Uber or whatever. So you can, even if you can't be there in person the whole time, you can still stream it. If you buy a ticket in person, you can still watch it virtually. So if you had to leave for a 4:30 flight, let's say on Sunday, the 21st, no problem. You can watch the replays or whatever, because we will be streaming it. And that kind of segues into the next thing. So folks have been asking us, well, how do I participate? So we actually do still have in-person tickets available. I know it's kind of short notice for folks out of town, but there's going to be amazing networking opportunities. So personally, I feel like coming in person is the most valuable way to participate. But we do have virtual immersion pass available as well, which would provide you access to all 3 days of the conference. And again, if you're busy that weekend, you can always watch the replays. And if you're just kind of curious and you're on the fence and you're not sure if this is for you, we even have the first day and a half totally free. Like you have nothing to lose to watch from the comfort of your own home. Just sign up with your email and we'll send you the link.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to further a point that Rebecca just made, the best value that you're going to get and the biggest kick in the butt that you're going to get is coming live and in person, just feeling the energy of all the other people and being around all these other people that are like-minded. They have goals similar to yours, people who want land, people who want to live on land, people who want to grow their own food. They want to be resilient. Me and John always joke about the Wolf of Wall Street, and particularly the scene where it's like, oh, are you tired of being a worthless loser? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. And not saying that anybody's a worthless loser, but come to the event, get a kick in the butt. We had several people from last year come to the Exit and Build Land Summit, and then they were immediately ready to be like, all right, this is what I needed. This is the motivation that I needed. They went out and they bought 20-acre properties, 90-acre properties. One gentleman did. I mean, it really does give you the motivation that you need and all of the practical steps in order to actually be able to afford something. Or if you already have land, then we can show you how to set up systems on your land, like Curtis Stone.
Yep.
Curtis Stone can show you how to make money with your property. So definitely very valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really like the first half of the day on Friday is all about setting the stage for like really having that mindset and like conquering any limiting beliefs, just like believing that you can and like seeing it in your mind and then holding that in your hand in the physical realm. And so just to kind of segue into the schedule, because I don't know if a lot of folks have seen it, but we're really setting the stage for mindset and empowerment and also practical tips and tools to actually like prepare and what do you need to do, what steps do you need to take in your life to leap into this lifestyle. So just a quick little overview. We'll welcome everyone at 9 a.m. We're going to have a quick little what does Exit and Build mean, some housekeeping, getting into the nitty gritty of the event. We'll have a opening meditation by Miriam Gomez, just to like really set ourselves up on a high vibration and, like really good high frequency for the rest of the experience. We have Pat Wood coming in virtually. He'll be presenting on the urban exit, an urgent call to escape smart cities. And Ryan actually booked Pat Wood. Do you want to share a little bit about him and his expertise with the smart city agenda?
Absolutely. Yeah. Pat Wood, he's just one of the foremost experts on technocracy. And now recently with the idea of the 15-minute cities, a really good resource, if you're not familiar with Pat Wood, is definitely Whitney Webb's Unlimited Hangout. She recently had on Pat Wood, I want to say a couple months ago, and he just gives a great overview of what's going on, how long this has been going on, the Club of Rome, all of their shenanigans. I would definitely recommend checking out that podcast episode. Hopefully we can book him for John's podcast, but in the meantime, I would definitely recommend checking that resource if you need an introduction to Pat Wood. And even if you're familiar, I still think that it's a great overview of what we're facing and what we're going to face coming down the road. But Pat will further that here at the Exit and Build Land Summit.
Yeah. And once he wraps up, like we don't want people to be feeling like doom and gloom and like helpless and that there is just no hope for the future. So we believe that there is and that we all have the freedom and ability to take those steps in our life in order to pursue this lifestyle of self-sufficiency and community building and creating parallel institutions and alternative networks. So we have Cynthia Lamb coming in to kind of really get in on manifestation, and she's going to share for 30 minutes tips that you can do to like kind of like in the Matrix where you control your destiny and you're the architect of your future. So again, kind of diving into the fear obstacles and really conquering your mindset and positivity and how to focus on exactly what it is you're wanting to achieve. And Angel Robinson will be presenting next. She has created this incredible experience called the Solar Punk Summit. It's this beautiful festival, really bringing people together who are artsy and creative and entrepreneurial and tech savvy, kind of like imagining what the world ought to be and could be in the future, and really reining in that beautiful vision. And so she'll be sharing her story and kind of how, it just starts with that momentum and finding the courage to make those changes, to make a really big impact. Jesse Elder is also coming, so he's really cool. He's based here in Bastrop, and he has actually exited and built himself. He has a farm, and they have good food production. It's on one of the farm tours too, so hopefully y'all will be able to check that out. But he helps people kind of figure out what they need to do to really like further their goals and have that project management aspect. Like, I don't think he likes the term life coach, but it's kind of like, if you have a goal, what do you need to do to bring that vision to reality? And I feel like, so many people want to live this lifestyle of growing their own food and living in community and kind of stepping into a more self-sufficient, holistic lifestyle. So he's going to not only share how he did that on his own, but also what you can do in order to just get all of the ducks in a row to, not just dip your toes in, but like jump in head first.
And absolutely. And one thing that I think that's really cool, particularly about Jesse, is that we also brought in his farmer. He hired actually a guy named Darren who runs his Freedom Farm. We actually brought him in to sit in on a panel discussion for food production. So that's one thing that I think is really cool. Jesse hired Darren to create a food forest on his property, and Darren's doing a bang-up job. He's got the best pork around, unvaccinated, no mRNA vaccinations in his pork, and you really can taste the difference. He raises them with love.
We actually just ate his bacon this morning.
There you go.
You were at the gym. You had already left the property, but Brad came over, and my family's in town, and I grabbed one of the bacon packages from our deep freezer. We bought half a pig from him. So we've been working our way through it.
Yeah. And all of the pork offerings that he has, the bacon is nice and thick. Like, a lot of people like it, not this really thinly sliced bacon that you buy at the grocery store or anything. And, it has no hormones, no mRNA vaccinations, no vaccinations at all. And it's all organic feed. They actually buy it from Coyote Creek Organic Farm Mill, just 30 minutes down the road. So it's a really, really cool operation. And we're really excited to have Jesse and Darren both at the Land Summit.
Yeah, you can definitely taste the difference. So that's going to be nice to have Darren also on the food production panel. Before we go back to the schedule, we do have a question about the resource for Pat Wood. I think you shared one with that interview that he had recently.
Right, Mr. Novak. That was Whitney Webb's Unlimited Hangout. That's the name of her podcast. So if you search Unlimited Hangout, it's also the name of her website. I believe it's unlimitedhangout.com, which is hangout. I don't pronounce my G's at the end of words. So it's unlimitedhangout.com. And that's Whitney Webb, who did a podcast with Patrick Wood. It's a really, really insightful podcast. I definitely recommend it.
Yep. So moving on, we have a wonderful menu prepared for lunch for the in-person attendees. Chef Ray's actually sourcing food. The pork for the barbecue will be from Darren, supplied by Darren. So that's really cool. We're serving barbecue on day one. Of course, it's Texas, so we gotta, really stick it to our roots and enjoy some delicious barbecue. Everything's farm to table. Everything's organic. We'll have food for vegans if they can't eat pork. There's other options. We'll have options for people who are gluten-free or even carnivore. So we're accommodating all dietary restrictions. And again, it's not too late to sign up in person. We do still have a few tickets left, but you'd want to act fast because we are like 2 weeks away and we need to get the numbers into the caterer. So after lunch, the person who created this whole concept of Exit and Build, we are honored to have Derek Brose present. He'll be on at 1:30. He's discussing his journey from the Exit and Build philosophy to the Conscious Agora Eco Village, which he actually just closed on land in Mexico last week. So again, this is it's not just about coming to these events. It's about taking what we learn here and implementing that in our lives and actually buying land and building these communities and growing our own food. So Derek's going to be sharing about that. We're super excited.
And that's really what Derek did is, what we're trying to accomplish with everybody coming to the Land Summit, actually taking the action, putting yourself out there, buying your property and implementing your dreams onto the earth. He really is the shining example of what we all should be doing, implementing our dreams and following through with them.
Yep. And finding the right partners. I mean, they didn't just jump right into their land project. They took a solid 2 years or so connecting with people to see who is the right fit, who will help us steward this land, and who is in alignment with, our goals, and really taking the time to make sure that they're making the right decision and doing so very gracefully. So we're super excited that Derek is joining us. Now, once you acquire the land, it's like, how do we structure things legally? Because we are still operating in this current paradigm and realm of zoning and restrictions and deed restrictions and, making sure that you want to protect yourself legally in the event that there's a lawsuit or something happens or someone breaks a leg or whatever on the farm. So there's this cool model called private membership associations, PMAs, and that's how a lot of people nowadays are pursuing this alternative approach to group organization and even setting up their business. So we're going to have a renowned expert, Mike Klum, come in and actually share all about PMAs, and he's going to talk about freedom, being alive and well in the private domain. And there's a few other topics as well that he'll discuss. A lot of people are interested in land trusts and those different mechanisms for organizing. So we have Mike Klum coming. Ron Gibson is also coming. We're really excited. We just saw him speak at the Inc. 23 event, and thankfully he was able to join us to discuss land patents and alloidal title. So for a long time, people have been asking us to dive deeper onto this subject. So we were like, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. So we're bringing in the leading expert in the world on land patents. So we're really happy that Ron Gibson is coming. And actually, Ron and Mike will also be doing a workshop as well on Sunday. So we'll get into that. Philip is with the Utah community. It's a co-op, and they're going to be talking about his off-grid community. And they're really committed to growing their own food, and they have kind of a cool layout how they've developed that land. It was over 1,000 acres that they're working on?
Yep, about 1,300 acres. And guys, this is our Riverbed Ranch community sponsor. We thought that their offering was so great. We just had to give them a time slot, and he's going to share everything that they have to offer and everything that you should look for in a community. And they're really self-sufficiency minded. So I think that Philip will definitely give a killer talk.
Yeah, and his community is based in Utah, and they are selling lots. So he'll be there all weekend. You can connect with him if you're looking to actually buy a lot. I think they're around 30,000. And you get your 2 acres. You have the well, so the water's already set up, I believe, and then they, can help you build the house or whatever. But they have stipulations like you have to agree to grow food, and so that everyone living there has a similar, ethos, if you will. My dear friend and previous business associate, Angelle Miller from Canada, she's traveling all the way from Canada to share with us about her award-winning glamping retreat, R&R. It's up in Canada. And actually, she just told me last week that she's expanding and franchising in a town right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. So we're actually hoping that maybe in the near future, we could do something similar here in Central Texas with Angelle. So she's going to come check out Central Texas and present on this topic, because a lot of people who buy land want to have a successful glamping, which is glamorous camping resort set up so that people can come visit. They have, vacation rentals, residual income, like an income stream coming in so that folks can stay on the land, experience the land, connect with the land. But she's really taken it to the next level. Like everything at her glamping retreat is sourced from the local economy. She's all about, supporting the local economy, and down to the apple orchard producing the, drinks that everyone enjoys. The cider, I guess, is what it's called. They're big on maple syrup up there in Canada. So she really pays very good attention to detail and how, as a business owner, you can source all of your goods in an ethical way that really supports the local economy and provides this very profound experience to the client, who's then, the guest who's staying in the glamping retreat. And so we're excited to have her, and she's going to be sharing kind of that business model and how all of that started. She does like the geodesic domes. And I think that their resort, she said, has been booked out, like complete occupancy every single weekend ever since it opened. And now other resorts in Canada are even starting to like mimic their model because it was so successful. So that's really cool. Obviously land costs money and these projects are not cheap. So it's good to be aware of opportunities to earn income. John's excited to have an empowerment break throughout the weekend, kind of get up off your feet, move around, move, get the blood flowing. So we'll have a little 15 minutes of that. And I'll just try to go through this quickly because I know we're running low on time. And if you guys have any questions, like let us know and we'll answer them as we go. Catherine is coming all the way from Arizona. I was honored to visit and tour her intentional community school, American Family Education. It's a beautiful model. They have such a cool way that they've set everything up. Teachers can even live in the school. Like there's like rooms and stuff, like so they can actually live there and work there. And it was just so cozy, and they do food production and everything. So it was awesome experience. And I wanted her to come out and share that model because a lot of folks who want to live this lifestyle also want to pull their kids out of public school or pursue alternative education opportunities, or at least have some structure for their kiddos so that while they're working on the land, their kids have something fun to do. So that would be really cool to have her out to share about that. And then Imani is going, I know Imani and River are usually together, but she's going to have her own talk about how Haven Earth, the campus and the educational aspect of their model is like the heart of the community. So her talk's Beyond Resiliency, Building a Healthy Hemp Home Village in Tennessee. And all of that, of course, is structured around, first and foremost, learning how to build with hemp, learning how to build a healthy home. And so we'll hear from Imani. We do also have from Canada, Curtis Stone coming. He is going to be discussing what to look for when you're searching for land for the perfect homestead property. So what to consider with the topography and just different aspects of like, where's it located? Is it on a major highway? Like, what are the water rights? Like really understanding, before you actually buy a property, like what you should look for, what you should try to avoid, and he'll help kind of clear the air there.
And guys, one thing that I'd like to say about Curtis is he actually did a show with John just yesterday, and he talked about how the land that he bought in Canada was super undervalued because people didn't know how to actually look for the right kind of land. So there could potentially be a lot of hidden gems out there that people think like, oh, it's beat, the soil's no good, there's no water. And he's like, yeah, that's exactly how my land that I bought was portrayed. Soil's no good, there's no water, can't get this, can't get that. And then he actually did his own analysis of the land. He's like, oh, there's plenty of water, the soil's just fine. And he's doing great on his property now. So definitely a really, really good get, I believe, for the Exit and Build Land Summit. Curtis Stone, he's going to show you exactly what you need to do and what you need to look for.
He also talks about ways to have income on the property. So he's like, even if you have 1 acre, here's how you can here's how you can make the maximum amount of revenue for the property with food production and different ways to like make it profitable to live off the land. Because when you do live in the country, that's something that can be hard too, is like we don't want to sacrifice our economic prosperity. So what can we do that's in alignment with our values that also stewards the land but can return funds that go back into our financial well-being. So that is exciting because we all need to earn an income in order to make these projects and dreams come true. We'll close out day one. We have a fun social at Community Gardens. We're going to have a band play. They're called No Permit. And the Community Garden is only 15 minutes away from the convention center. So if you're coming in person, you definitely want to mark your calendar for the social. We're also going to provide an opportunity for people to come up on stage for 5 minutes. They can sign up ahead of time and introduce kind of what they're looking for, and that'll set the stage for the power networking on Saturday. So any questions in the crowd? Any questions? Well, I don't want to like bore you guys with the schedule, but we can just kind of run through it real quick. So day 2 is going to be a little bit less of the talks. So the second half of the day, we're going to have toward the end of the day, some networking. But in the morning, we're really focusing on food production. Jackie's going to open up and set the stage with a meditation. We have Nicole Sauce from Living Free in Tennessee. She is just amazing and has so much knowledge in this homesteading space. There's so much that she has to share, and a lot of her message too is like about entrepreneurship and ways to grow your own food and also earn a living. And she also is providing the coffee. So we got Holler Roast, whoop whoop, at our Spike Up bar. So when you enjoy your coffee in person at the event, it's from Nicole's business, Holler Roast. Texas Ready, Lucinda and Kurt, we've been wanting to have them present for a long time. So we're very excited to have them come up. I actually had the opportunity to participate in a Mittlighter gardening course with Lucinda, which was actually filmed, and Haven Earth is selling the course if you want to watch it from home. But anyway, they're going to be presenting, and it's all about high yield, how to really maximize the yield and utilize the Mittlighter gardening technique. And they have heirloom seeds, and you can buy seeds from them whether you're coming in person or not. And that's Texas Ready. Troy Swift will share about his journey, which is perfect for Exit and Build. Right before he turned 40, he decided, I'm going to do something totally different. And he totally switched gears and bought land in the country. And now he stewards this beautiful pecan orchard. He's into bat conservation, or like building the bat houses, which is synergistic also apparently to help with insects and, making sure the property, the pecan trees don't get ruined by the insects and stuff. It's all a holistic, synergistic way that he's kind of built out his land. And so he's going to be sharing also about what it took to kind of get set up and how the property has been really lucrative and successful for him. And I hope that he brings some pecans to purchase, because he sells bags of them in pecan oil, and that's so good. And he'll be on the Kingsbury farm tour. So if you are doing the farm tour, he's on the Kingsbury Loop, which is right here. So there's going to be the bat conservation and horizontal beekeeping demonstration. You'll get to see the pecan production and the sawmill. Funny enough, that he has on his property. They were at the Mittlighter gardening course. They're using the sawdust as the topsoil when we planted everything, because apparently it's great for Mittlighter gardening. So yeah, just really good to know your, neighbors and get to know people in the local area, because it's all connected. So we're really honored that he's joining us and will be presenting about what he's learned along the way. And you can actually see his operation in person by going on the farm tour. Then we have the local food producer panel, Breon from Plum Fabulous Foods, John Pantalone from Amber Oaks Ranch, Darren Lutz from Freedom Farms, James Buchanan, who does the beekeeping, the horizontal beekeeping, and Allison Heinheimer from Habitable Spaces, which is also in Kingsbury. They do really good farm-to-table meals. I would definitely recommend going if you're in Central Texas. Every time there's a full moon, they host these amazing meals that everything that's served is from the land. And you can experience that as well if you go on the farm tour on the Kingsbury Loop. So, and Allison makes really good cheese, and they have a really cool community. It's like they've got tiny homes and commercial kitchen. It's definitely a sight to see.
And it's definitely going to be a very valuable panel. Everybody on there, from Brianne to John Pantalone to James Buchanan, Allison, and of course, we already mentioned Darren earlier. Brianne's a total badass. She has, 6 kids?
Yeah, I think 7 maybe.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of kids. She wrangles them all together. She's got her chickens. She's got a huge garden that she maintains. I mean, she's just a total badass. Definitely a ton of knowledge there. John Pantalone, another guy who doesn't vaccinate his animals, which I love. If anybody's passionate about vaccinations, or, on the other side of vaccinations, like I am, but, John Pantalone doesn't vaccinate his animals. It's 100% pure grass-fed, grass-finished beef. Can't get anything better than that. We talked about Darren, his unvaccinated pigs. That's going to be really insightful, how he manages all of that, how he manages his garden and his pigs and his chickens. And then James Buchanan, he uses a really innovative beehive method where it's not vertical like a lot of other ones. It's actually horizontal. So he's killing it with everything. And Allison, I went to Habitable Spaces, had a fantastic meal. I think she's going to be a really valuable add to this panel and everything that they do.
And these are all people who are actually hosting during the farm tours. So we really took the initiative to honor our local community, and we want people to see these communities firsthand, because the panel is going to be amazing, don't get me wrong, but I would strongly encourage everyone to sign up for the farm tours and, listen to the food producer panel, because that'll really bring it all together and hone it all in. Jack Spirko is a crowd pleaser, so we're super excited to have Jack Spirko from the Survival Podcast, and he wants to share everything he's learned about biochar and terra preta soils, although he did send me an update with a little more description on this topic. So check the website tomorrow and you'll see the full description on what exactly he's going to be presenting on, because it is quite specific.
And man, if anybody will give you a kick in the ass, it's definitely Jack. Man, every time that guy talks, I'm ready to run through a brick wall.
Yeah, he is awesome and very, very informative. He's been doing this for a very long time. And just listening to this new technique might save you years of heartache trying to figure out gardening on your own and how to have your soil health. So we're really stoked that he'll be joining us. We'll have lunch, and this day we're going to be serving, my brain, let me think. I think that we're doing Cajun. Cajun might be Sunday, and then this day would be, I would have to check. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Chili. I think we're doing chili and cornbread one of the days. Sorry, guys.
We tried to go more southern.
We're trying to do more of a southern farm feel.
Yeah, instead of, all this fancy schmancy.
Oh, fajitas. Fajitas are day 2.
There we go.
Yeah, and then we're doing the chili will be for vegan folks. So we're trying to accommodate all of the dietary restrictions, like Tex-Mex, Southern style food. And the food is always fantastic. So we're really stoked that Chef Ray is joining us again. And again, he's sourcing all the ingredients from our local farmers. So Michael Reynolds is actually traveling all the way from New Mexico. I'm sure y'all have heard of Michael Reynolds. He's very famous. He's created the Earthship, and this is a passive heating, cooling. He doesn't call it a home. He calls it, he just had an interview with John. It's the word is not coming to my mind. I would have to dwell on, it's not what does he call it? It's something that moves. Anyway, I don't know. Let me message John and remember what he said. But I didn't want to call it a home because he has a special word for it. But you can use it for all sorts of different natural building techniques. And they basically, he's going to share about, using garbage basically to build out the structure. It's a vessel. He called it a vessel. So instead of a home, they're Earthship vessels. So we're stoked about Michael Reynolds coming, and he'll actually be at the event too. So you can go, brush shoulders with him, talk to him. He's going to be hanging out. He gets in on Friday, so he'll be there all day Saturday and part of Sunday. So River Richardson from Haven Earth will be presenting. And again, with the natural building, when we buy land, the next step then is figuring out what your dwelling will be, and there's tons of options, but we're really trying to debut the options that are more earth friendly and that are financially affordable and will stand the test of time. So that's cool that you'll be able to hear from some of the most renowned bioarchitects in the world back to back. Cynthia Tina, she is coming to present on intentional community. She's an expert in community matchmaking. She's going to be showing you all the different types of intentional communities. There's so many different legal structures you can consider, so many different ways to do your master plan, your site plan, the food production, the community agreements, conflict resolution styles. So there's just so many options. And until you see it firsthand, it's hard to know what resonates most with you. So she'll be sharing with the crowd some of the communities that she's visited around the world and how they're set up legally. Like, is it a co-housing kind of thing? Is it a land trust? Is it a condo association, a co-op? So this is going to be very, very thorough presentation on that topic. We visited the farm in Tennessee. That's another, intentional community. They have their own legal structure. It's actually set up as a corporation, and then they have a conservation trust for the land to be stewarded. It's like a wildlife the property is over 1,000 acres, so it's very, very vast. But John and I got to visit, and they are very famous for their midwifery. Although they also have the Eco Village Training Center. They have a schoolhouse out there for the kiddos. So this is called The Farm. He has lived there for many decades, and it gave us a great tour of the community. We're actually hoping to have a video edited beforehand of our experience visiting, but it was like 2 days of content. So it's gonna be a minute until all that gets edited. But he'll be sharing about the farm and community living and kind of the benefits of being in community and why, you know, there's strength in numbers and kind of what they've built with the farm community. All right, and then we're almost done, guys, I promise. So we're gonna have panels because it's cool to hear from multiple people. So development panel, like what does it take to get all the infrastructure, all the roads built? Who would build the roads? Just different type of housing options and different types of development methods and how to build out your homestead or community. Also, there's a lot of conflict with the best place to live, the best geographic location for freedom and doing this self-sufficient lifestyle. So we've got a few different locations represented, and they'll be sharing why they think that Mexico is the best option, or Texas, or Tennessee, or international. And then we're doing a really in-depth power networking on Saturday night. And there are still VIP tickets left. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see the dinner from last year, but the VIP dinner is so special. We have, you know, the cute string lights. We'll have live music. It's going to be really cool. And it offers you a chance to, you know, brush shoulders and sit right next to the speakers. Like last year, we had photos of people sitting right next to Joel Salatin. And that's just not usual to have an opportunity to sit next to someone who's been working in this industry for so long.
Yeah, guys, definitely. We do have some VIP tickets left. If you'd like to be a part of that, it really is a special experience. For instance, if you're familiar with the rapper Zuby, he attended our VIP dinner for the Greater Reset. That was definitely very special. We also had some other amazing guests. It really is truly a one-of-a-kind experience, and everybody will have an amazing time, whether you're general admission or whether you're VIP, but the VIP is really the dinner and the other things that they get to take part in, like the green room that they get to go to with premium snacks and beverages and stuff like that. It really, truly is a very special experience for the VIPs.
Yep. So hopefully you'll be able to join us there. It's definitely worth the extra cost and the ticket expense. We also have a little lobby, kind of like a cool green room area where the speakers hang out. But as a VIP, you do get access to that space during the conference, so you can schmooze and network and, you know, enjoy some nice snacks and refreshments. This is a photo from the VIP dinner last year. So it was a really, really cool experience, and just dining with one another and sharing stories, and it was really special. So there are still a few VIP tickets left. So hopefully we will see y'all at the VIP dinner. And then are there any other questions? I saw somebody asks, hopefully not all hot Tex-Mex. Chef Ray is very, very good about making the food not too spicy. You can always add the spices and salsas and stuff when you're done. But he's, you know, very good about making sure it's going to accommodate everyone's dietary preferences. And then how much does it cost to upgrade from the regular ticket to the VIP ticket?
So right now we're selling tickets, and actually we do have a deadline coming up this Friday. After this Friday, tickets will be going up. So right now, tickets are selling for $297 for general admission, and the VIP ticket is $797. So you would just subtract the cost of the general admission from the VIP, so that should be $500. It would be about $500 to upgrade. I do believe that it is 100% worth it. We've had several people do it already. We'd love to have more do it, although maybe not too much more. We can't take 100 more VIPs, but if
30.
Yeah, right. Less than 30 at this point. But if you would like that opportunity, that is available to you. You could just give me a call at 512-661-7251. I would love to talk with you, discuss all of your options, and maybe give you a little bit more about the VIP dinner. just give me a call at that number.
So it's 512-661.
7251.
Yep. So Ryan will help you out. We also, on the website, we have information about the prices. I think in 2 days, the price goes up, right? May 5th, so Cinco de Mayo.
Correct.
So that's like
after May
coming
5th.
right up.
So May 6th, they will go up May 5th at midnight. So technically May 6th.
So you just put your email address in, your first name. You don't have to do your phone number, but it is good because we send out text message updates, and that's where you can buy your ticket. You can either sign up to do it for free to watch from home for the first day and a half, or you can sign up to watch the whole thing from home, which is the more interactive element, the community matchmaking, all that, and that's the virtual immersion pass. But the best option is to come in person, and there's 2 different ways to do that, with the general admission or with the VIP pass. So we just kind of broke down the cost, and remember, the price does increase on May 5th. We're not trying to be jerks, but please understand, we have to coordinate with our caterers. They're sourcing food from farmers, so there's a lot of moving parts. And that's why we like to do early bird tickets, because once we have a head count, it really helps us in preparing, like, how many centerpieces do we need? How many volunteers do we need at the registration booth? Like, how much help are we going to need? Boots on the ground and people to feed and serve. So please, just if you're coming in person, take care of that before that price increase, because our caterers appreciate it. And we really hope to see you there in person. So the clock is ticking, but yeah, 2 weeks away, y'all. This is so exciting. The farm tours are also a separate expense. So we can kind of get into that too. There's a few different options, but I don't want to jump around too much from place to place. But if you register and you pay for your in-person ticket, you'll get a link to sign up for the farm tours. And so that's totally up to you if you want to go, but it's going to be great. And I would definitely recommend doing the farm tours. So yeah, just last but not least, I don't really see any other questions. We got about 10 more minutes. So if you have questions, send them in all caps on the comment section. On Sunday, we do have some great workshops scheduled. So since we have a few more minutes, we'll just kind of go through this really quickly, because I don't think people realized that the schedule was up on the website. So this is kind of what you can plan on for Sunday. So we have Texas Ready doing 2 different workshops. One is going to be on heirloom seeds and preparedness. So gardening, basically. And, most of their workshops are like 5 hours or more. So this at least gives you a taste for everything. It'll be a quick, punchy 1-hour dealio. If you're not really wanting to learn about gardening, or if you're wanting to learn more about the healthcare system, in the breakout room, we also have Christy, who will be doing a workshop on exiting the healthcare system. Do you want to share any more about kind of what you can expect there?
Yeah, so Christy's just going to really be sharing how you can really be empowered, because, in today's society, everything's about disempowering the individual. A lot of people, once they're diagnosed with cancer, they say, "Hi, I have cancer." And then you're left wondering, "Oh, well, what's your name?" So a lot of people have this spell put on them, and these traditional doctors, allopathic doctors, they really take the power out of the individual. Well, Christy and Amy, they're here to give it back to you. They're going to show you how you can be empowered, how you can take back your health, and how you can do it without the help of the medical system.
Yep. And then we do have a question. What time does it start Thursday? So the farm tours, everything's listed on the website. If you click the tab that says farm tours, if you want to carpool, you'd want to meet at the convention center at least 9 a.m., but the tour actually starts at 10 a.m. So choose which track you want to go on. You have multiple options. There's 4 different tours that you can choose from. So for instance, if you're thinking about moving to Texas and you want to see the east side, maybe you'd want to do the LaGrange tour, etc. But just register for the event and you'll get an email with all the information. We even made a website with all the information about the farm tours, but plan on 10 a.m. sharp is when they start. We'll email you the address and all of that. But if you're wanting to carpool, make sure to get to the convention center at least 9 a.m., ideally like 8:30 a.m. so that, we're able to coordinate correctly. But yeah, so back to the workshops. So we've got some great workshops planned. So after the gardening and after the exiting the health system, there's going to be one on food preservation and storage, again, on the main stage, put on by Texas Ready. So if you're wanting to learn about canning and, different ways to preserve food so that it's shelf stable. This would be a great workshop to attend. We have Taylor Monroe from the Austin Permaculture Guild. She actually just acquired a property also. So yay, it's happening. And she's going to discuss how to build a food forest. And so this is really important if you're wanting to do food forest, to understand all the options and how to get started. And so she does like permaculture design courses and is very well versed on this topic. And I will say, once the trees are mature, you really don't have to do much. Like if you're planting like fruit trees or like we have a pecan orchard, and like all of that is a lot easier, I think, to manage once it's set up. You just have to design the food forest appropriately ahead of time and think it through so that you're not paying for an installation and then whoops, like the deer eat all the, leaves and everything. So she kind of will go through how to build a food forest and how to do it efficiently and things to consider so that you can have a lot of great food year round. Then a lot of folks, again, are interested in the PMAs and land patents. So we actually put on a long workshop with Michael Colomb and Ron Gibson on this topic so we can dive a little deeper. Of course, a lot of people are, kind of feeling all the pressure from the increasing property taxes and we just got our appraisal on the property like last week, and it's just crazy. So finding ways to kind of organize things that maybe will protect yourself more so. Like in Texas, we have an agricultural exemption, and like there's ways to, investigate how you could possibly set up the property to protect yourself. We have a lot of folks who already live in community and they're looking for ways to better manage the community and folks who live out there. So Kenny is going to be joining us all the way from Oregon, and he does Kenny's Conscious Kitchen. He'll actually be doing the catering for the VIP dinner as well. But having so much expertise in this area, he felt like it was really important to touch on this topic, which is nonviolent communication, community agreements, and really having the self-work ahead of time before deciding to live in community. So, conflict is inevitable, but what's important is like how we agree to handle it. We all have bad days. We all snap sometimes. I snapped last week, so that's why I laughed. But yeah, so Kenny's going to touch on this. And for folks who already live in community, or even for folks who have kids or, living in a family is like an intentional community. If you have like your grandparent or your parents or the kids' grandparents or whatever, all under one roof, it's like, how can we best communicate and work together and resolve conflict and really understand, the best way for our group to function and operate. So he's going to be sharing about that in that workshop. We'll have lunch, and then Curtis Stone will be diving deeper on acquiring raw land and having the revenue streams on a property and finding the perfect homestead property for what you're wanting to do. And then we also, it's not up on the website yet, but there is a group coming from Costa Rica that does funding. And so they'll be sharing, and we'll get that up on the website here shortly. Mike Cobb is going to be presenting. We're so excited to have him. He will be virtual, but do you want to share kind of what he's going to be touching on?
Yep, Mike Cobb is just going to be breaking down exactly what I said earlier. If you're really into exiting and building and you really want to be a prepper, one of the best ways that you can do that is owning property in other countries. One thing that a lot of people don't know, and Latin America, South America was really tough for a lot of reasons, and they were really strict, certainly with COVID. But one of the most free places in the world, as a matter of fact, was Nicaragua, and that's where Mike Cobb spent almost all of COVID. No restrictions, no lockdowns, no mask mandates. They had virtually nothing over there. So Mike definitely recommends, hey man, if another lockdown comes around and you got to flee to Nicaragua because they ain't got nothing going on over there, that's definitely something that you should consider. So he'll definitely be touching on that. And I think it's a very salient point, because if you really do need to flee and you really do need to get out, at least you'll have that ability to do that.
Or if you just need to get out for a vacation. I mean, their properties are really nice. They're right there on the beach. So
it doesn't have to always be doom and gloom. You can always smoke a cigar on the beach. That's also nice.
But when we saw what happened with the COVID restrictions and how the entire economy got so jacked up and travel was restricted, I mean, I think it's good if you can afford it to have, redundancy. And so I mean, some people even have moved to, Latin America and have gotten out of the United States, and they're expats and stuff. So there's a lot of cool communities that Mike Cobb has set up with ECI development, and he's an expert in this area, and so he'll be sharing all of this. Last but not least, we do have Jeff Lawton coming in virtually, and he's a world-renowned permaculturist, so he'll be sharing with the crowd some information. He's just going to do a 1 hour, informative session, and then we'll do like a 1 hour Q&A. So if you want to actually have time with Jeff Lawton and ask him questions, you've got to be at this session. It's going to be epic. And then the conference basically ends. So I do have a question. Will in-person ticket holders be able to watch playbacks of the summit after the fact? Will that include the various workshops on Sunday? Yes, we are going to have replays available. So you would just log in to watch the replays with the same email you used to buy your ticket. We're going to have all of that available.
Absolutely. And then I see another question from Electric Jiggy Janet. I can't afford a VIP ticket. Unfortunately, Janet, that is no problem at all. Like I said, the general admission attendees will have a fabulous time. Ask anybody from TGR. We got a lot of compliments for how that event went. I really do think that you're just going to have an amazing time, whether you have a ticket or whether you're considering purchasing a ticket. You can give me a call. Again, that number is 512-661-7251. And I'd love to talk through all the options with you. You don't have to go VIP, although the VIPs certainly do very much so enjoy the experience that they get. But general admission will get all of the value that they could possibly get out of the event at that level, without a doubt, in my mind.
Yep. Yeah. So we hope to see you there. And Barbara, I believe you're coming to the in-person event. And so you're asking, can you list the website where the farm tours are? So we actually, everything now, if you go to exitandbuildlandsummit.com, on the website, there's actually tabs now. So what you can do is, like, let's say you want to see the farm tours. You just click this farm tours button, and now it gives you all the information on the farm tours. Now, let's say you've already registered for the in-person event. You should have received an email on Friday with all of the instructions on the various farm tour options, because these are outside of the convention center. So you're going to have a lunch expense and things, because obviously they're preparing the food and there's, overhead there. So if you can come to the farm tours, just choose which one you feel would be the best for your interest. If you're looking west of Austin, then maybe you go on the Wimberley tour. If you're looking east, then maybe Kingsbury or LaGrange makes more sense, etc. But anyway, all the information now is here on the farm tour. If you just click this little tab, and when you register to come in person, we actually send you a special website which has all the information, and you can click and actually pay ahead of time. So see how it says click here to pay for tour. So Barbara, if you don't have this link, or if you can't find it, I know that John sends a lot of emails. We can definitely send it to you. And the email is helpdesk@livefree.academy. We will just directly send you the link after we verify that you've done your purchase of the in-person ticket. We just don't want to make it public, because this is only it's an opportunity that's only available for folks who have actually purchased a ticket to the formal 3-day conference, if that makes sense. So I hope that, yes, I apologize for that. We mistakenly said $10 for lunch, and we messed up. So last week, that was a absolute mistake on our behalf. I'm really sorry for any miscommunication or confusion. They are serving these lunches farm to table, like literally Allison makes the cheese. Like these are ingredients coming from their fields, from their farms. And we did not understand that the different farms had different, prices and things that it costs for them to make everything. So we're just doing $20 across the board. And keep in mind too, this goes to support the farm. So we're not trying to, stiff anyone or spread inaccurate information. It was a mistake, and I apologize for that. But $20 will get you in for lunch at all the different options.
Yeah, guys, I think that's really important to understand, is that we're not making any money off off of the lunches, off of the farm tour lunches, those are 100% going to the food producers themselves. So if you'd like to support your local farmers, your local ranchers, I really think that you're putting your money in a good spot when you choose to support them that way.
Yep. So here's a question. Is there a transfer from Austin to Bastrop? So there is. And if you signed up for the in-person event, we send out this Exit and Build Land Summit Telegram group. So if you're not on that Telegram group, I would definitely recommend joining. And again, the help desk at Live Free Academy email, we can send it to you directly after we verify you purchased a ticket. But the CARTS program, it's called CARTS, C-A-R-T-S, CARTS. They have a shuttle that goes from Austin Airport to Bastrop, and it drops off near the convention center. I will say, when I get home on a late flight and everyone's sleeping and I don't want to bother John and the kids and all that, I just pay for a Lyft or an Uber from the airport, and it's usually like $30 or $40. I mean, it depends, obviously, like on how much demand there is at that time. So I would say, like, worst case scenario, if you're having to pay for an Uber, it's like $40. So
I actually ran a test ride yesterday from the airport to the convention center, and it was $36.91. So definitely very affordable for a 40-minute trip from the airport. It's definitely doable.
Yep, but there's also that CARTS program, which is like it's like a bus basically, and it'll take you to and from. So that's also probably the most economically, affordable option. And last year we had this fabulous carpool Exit and Build Land Summit carpool Telegram group, and it was amazing. People were really helping each other and getting from point A to point B. So I would recommend, if you don't have access to the Telegram groups that I'm talking about, to email help desk at Live Free Academy. We'll make sure you actually are coming, that you bought a ticket, and then we'll send you the information to join those groups. Because chances are you're probably going to be staying right at the same hotel or, as everyone else. And there's Airbnb rentals even where they're doing room share and stuff. So you definitely want to be in those groups.
And those hotels are all kind of clustered together. So odds are you're going to be right next to another person at the Land Summit. And, plenty of people have big enough vehicles to give you a ride. So definitely, like Rebecca just said, email helpdesk at livefree.academy, and we can get you set up with those Telegram links so you can coordinate rides.
Yep. And I just want to, while we're on the topic of the farm tours, I don't know if y'all saw the menu. So let me just read it off to you real quick. So we've got a good setup here. So there's going to be 4 different farm tour options at Plum Fabulous Farm in LaGrange. So this would be the LaGrange Loop. You will have a Texas-style lunch featuring a barbecue baked potato with all the fixins, baby carrots, cookie, tea, and water, and they have vegan and vegetarian options available as well. At Habitable Spaces, they are going to be serving a fried herby goat cheese served with fresh, crusty bread, beet and carrot salad with spring greens and herbs, pulled pork or sautéed spring veggies, which are vegetarian, served with homemade onion rolls, served with fresh pickled veggies and farm-made condiments. They have goat milk ice cream for dessert. Very nice.
Can you believe that's all coming from their farm? That's amazing.
Yeah, they actually have their farm-to-table full moon dinner this Friday night. So in 2 nights, I really want to go.
Dang.
Their food's always the bomb. Quinta La Boa Farm, which is the Northeast Central Texas tour, they're doing a Texas-style barbecue with all the sides, potato salad, corn on the cob, and homemade goat milk ice cream. And then Dirt Candy Farm, this is the one that's west of Austin. So if you look on a map, you can kind of see Bastrop is east of Highway 35, but Wimberley is very far west, and it is so pretty. But anyway, they have pasta with farm veggies and salad goodies from the Dirt Candy Garden, topped with candy sampler microgreens and fresh eggs from Carrie Lynn's farm, served with Sicilian bread, and it's a sweet treat. So yay, we have the menus all ironed out. And then, of course, at the Land Summit, we also have a nice menu planned for y'all with Chef Ray catering. So we're going to have a really nice experience, and we hope that y'all will join us. The food is always a nice cherry on top of the sundae. the
Yeah,
experience.
absolutely, guys. We really like for you to join us. And if you are coming to the event, please come to my booth and see me. I'll be working the booth most of the time that I'm there at the event. Please come up to me, say hello. I'd love to talk. I made a lot of connections with people at the Greater Reset. Unfortunately, I started a little bit after the last Exit and Build, but my first event was the Greater Reset. Made so many connections with people that were just attending, and it was a real treat to share so many amazing conversations with them. So please come talk to me. We'd love to have you there. We'd love to have you on general admission, VIP, whatever you're doing. I just would really like to shake your hand and thank you for being a part of this community. And then we can nerd out about conspiracies and whatnot.
And growing food.
And growing food.
We do have one other question. How do we get to the farm tours from our hotel? So when you register for the event, you're actually going to, when you register on the Exit and Build landsummit.com website, you'll actually have a email sent to your email inbox, which provides you with a website that has all the addresses for the farm tours. So when you buy the ticket for the farm tour, because these are people's private residences and stuff, so they don't really like to put their address out on a public website. But once you pay your $20 for the lunch or the farm tour fee and all of this, they'll send you the address in the email. So when you get the email confirmation with the address, you could just drive there from your hotel, like if you rented a car. But what we're suggesting is if you go from the hotel to the convention center and you get there an hour early, or an hour and a half early, better yet, 9 a.m. on Thursday, May 18th, or Monday, May 22nd, you can actually carpool with other people who do have a car, who did rent a car, and then everyone's driving together to the farm, which is better anyway, because they don't want 5 million cars on their land. So we're encouraging everyone to carpool. So I would say from your hotel, you're going to be looking at a 5-minute drive to the convention center, and then ride with someone else to the farm tour that has the car. So we're organizing a lot of this through the Telegram carpool chat. And I would just say, it's probably best to go that route. If you are wanting to leave directly from your hotel to the farm, you're looking at a 45-minute, maybe even an hour drive. So I would recommend carpooling. And so again, go to the convention center and we'll make sure that everyone has a seat and that they're able to ride together. So we would need people who are going, who are local in Central Texas, to say, I have a van, I have an SUV, I want to go to the Kingsbury tour, so I have got 6 extra seats. I'll meet at the convention center and I'll drive people to the Kingsbury loop or whatever. So we have our Telegram group to coordinate that. And then what are the farm tours hours? 9 a.m. until, so we do have the information up on the website. So when you go to exitandbuildlandsummit.com, if you click the farm tours, it's going to give you all the different options all the time. So 10 a.m. is when it starts. But that means that if you're driving there, let's say it's a 30-minute drive, an hour drive, you're going to want to leave, with enough time to get there at 10. I would even say get there with enough time, where 15 minutes beforehand, so that, some of these in the country, you might take a wrong turn or whatever. So I would say meet at the convention center at 8:30 a.m. or 9 a.m. to carpool. So that way you can get there on time. And then there's a few different options for the different ones. So some might be an hour away, some might be 40 minutes away. So it just depends. But if you don't get there right at 10, then, they might already be on the tour. You might miss something. So just something to consider. And then some of them are then after the lunches and stuff. So they do their farm tour 10 a.m., workshop 11 a.m. The workshops are an hour. So the first step is to register for the in-person event, and then you get this website with all the farm tour options, because there's 4 options. So you're going to want to choose, like, on Thursday, I'm doing this option. On Monday, I'm doing this option. And you can analyze which one you feel is going to be most beneficial for you. So 9 until, it depends. Like some are a 2-hour loop. Some might take you 4 hours to get out there, like the Wimberley one, I think, is a 4-hour commitment.
Which is like an hour and a half, maybe hour 45 to Wimberley, and then that same amount of time traveling back. So it's not a 4-hour drive straight there and straight back, like an 8-hour, that would be an 8-hour loop. So the 4-hour loop, it's maybe around an hour and a half to 2 hours to get out there, depending on traffic.
Yeah, and we'll email you this website, which has all the times that everything's beginning. You can choose. If you don't want to pay for lunch, you can also just pay for the tour. So there's a lot of options here. And we will definitely make sure your questions are answered. And if Ryan and I, or if you didn't have your question answered, Ryan and I are also happy to do maybe a minute or two longer of questions. But this is the email. If you think of something later tonight and we're not doing this live stream anymore, you can always email helpdesk@livefree.academy.
I did see someone asking whether the pork would be vegan
Okay.
or meat. The pulled pork is going to be from Darren's farm, but we do have vegan options.
Yeah, all the lunches have the vegan, vegetarian options.
So if you are vegan then or vegetarian, or you what's our other one? Gluten intolerant. We also have gluten free. So you can have no restrictions, gluten free, vegan or vegetarian. We've pretty much got the bases covered in terms of lunches.
And then someone's asking, do you have room blocks at hotels? So that expired already. Most of them actually expired April 18th. So that's, again, why we try to push the early bird and all of that. But I will say Bastrop is very affordable, like really affordable compared to Austin. Like you can get a decent hotel room here for like $80 at the Comfort Suites. $88. I think one of the nights it was like $120. The nicest hotel is the Holiday Inn, and those are around $160 a night. But like what some folks in that Exit and Build Land Summit Telegram group are doing, they're just renting an Airbnb with 12 rooms, and then you can pay $120 for the whole event, to split a house with people. So I would definitely recommend getting on that Telegram group. And again, if you need the link, you can email helpdesk@livefree.academy. We only send the link out to people who have registered, though. So just an FYI on that.
At the risk of sounding like a broken record, if you would like to call me, I have been helping a lot of people find accommodations. A lot of people are like, oh, I'd love to come to the event. It's one thing for a $300 ticket, but then if I have to pay $100 for 5 nights at a hotel, that makes it unsustainable for me. I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely understand that. Who wants to spend $500 just on hotels? So I've been helping people find accommodations. There is a woman named Catherine. She's actually one of our speakers.
Yeah.
So she was the person who rented that 12-person Airbnb. We've gotten a lot of people set up over there. There's also other accommodations in Bastrop that are as low as $66 a night. I would love to talk with you guys and get you set up on an accommodation that works for you. Again, one last time, you can call me at 512-661-7251, and I'll do my best to make sure that you guys can come.
I think this is the website too for all the hotels. Here, let me screen share real quick. And then we're going to go. Okay, guys. This website, livefree.academy/bastrop-hotels, has options for different hotels that are nearby. So like I said, the Comfort Suites is pretty close to the convention center. Well, actually, everything's within 5 minutes. I mean, Bastrop's so small, so everything's really close. Now, the room block did expire, but you can still find these websites, on DuckDuckGo or whatever. Go and book your stay if you really want to do a hotel instead of an Airbnb. So there's a variety of options, and obviously some are more affordable than others. But this is the website for the hotel listings. Yeah. So, oops, not wanting to load. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for your time. We are just so excited for the event. We've been working so hard on everything, and it's just so nice and rewarding to hear from everyone. And we are really excited that we're only 2 weeks away. So we hope we'll see you there in person. At the very least, register online to watch for free on day 1 and half of day 2. And we hope that you'll join us so that we can meet you and shake your hand and help to figure out buying land, building community, and becoming more self-sufficient. It definitely helps having a network, having community, and having other people to do it with. So
it's going to be a great event, y'all. Come see us.
Thanks. Bye. I hope I do this right.